we're going to put this flap onto there. So we get the wax thread and 2 needles, because we're going to do a saddle stitch, so we use 2 needles. And to give yourself a good idea of how much thread you need, most people have told me that it's 4 times the actual length. So what I do is I start a bit over on each end, and I just do 2, 3, 4, and I always leave too much anyway, which if you're in business that's a bad thing, but when you're a hobbyist you just get on with it. Okay, so get the old thread off there. Push that through there. Flatten the thread down a little bit. Take my needle. Push the needle through the thread just a little bit and then bring it back on itself. Create like an S shape. And then just push it down and then pull. And it's all the way up the top. And do the same on the other side. Cut the excess off the old one. I always leave a little bit on my needles, because when you leave them lying around on the side, it's a lot easier to spot them if you've got some thread still attached to them. Right, so again we go through the needle and lie it down, put your thumb there, finger there, flatten the thread, push the needle through the thread just a little bit, bring it back on itself, create almost an S shape, push it down all the way and pull it tight, and it's done. Right, and then we just start stitching. Once you've got your thread ready, we just find the 2 holes. I'm going to go through the first hole and through the first hole. She's actually second hole in, but there's a line of holes for that which they match up perfectly, so it's not hard to get the right ones. Pass the needle through first and second of the holes, bring the needles through, line them up and pull the thread through, and then take one of them, bring it back up through the first hole, see, through the first hole. Try not to pull too hard or you end up getting uneven thread. But you end up with one on either side. Give it a bit of a gentle tug. And then we start. Now we've got it threaded, we're going to start stitching all along. We're going to do a double stitch on the first one. Find the holes. Push them up, over, over and pull. I'm told it's easier or better to put a double stitch at the beginning because it just makes the whole thing stronger. And when you put your needles through and you're crossing them over like that, if you start off with the left needle on the back, then all the way through the stitching keep the left needle on the back when they cross over, otherwise your stitching will change and it's quite noticeable. So there we go. I have learnt to save my fingers, I don't pull tight on every stitch. I do about 4 stitches, and then on the 5th stitch I'll pull tight. So 1, 2, 3 after the first one, which I've already pulled. 1, 2, 3, cross over, 4, and then on the 5th one now I'm going to pull tight, and you see it all goes tight, and it saves having to hurt your fingers quite so much. Your fingers do get a bit tougher as you go along, but gotta say, been doing it for 6 years and it still hurts. So these 2 straps are actually well, they should be long straps like this, and they're supposed to be the straps that go on the bag, and then when the bag folds round, the straps come up either side. Well, I'm not making it into a bag, I'm making it into a tool pouch. I'll fold it back there and I'll put a buckle there. I'll do that on both sides, there and there, like that, and then I'll make 2 more of these straps, put them on the flat here, so when it goes around they will fit into the buckles. Easy peasy. Right, let's crack on. So we're going to take this strap and we're just going to put this buckle on it there. So put the buckle there, and I need to fold it over. So I'm going to put it through there, find where it is I want it to go, which is about there. Use a spike of some sort, mark where the hole's going to go. The hole is for this pin to go through, you know, the buckle pin. So punch that hole, put this on, stick that through the hole if it will go. Yep, see that's gone through the hole. Put the strap, get in through the buckle, pull it round. Okay, so the buckle's on, but we've now got to pin it at the back. So I'm going to punch a hole, my 1.5mm punch, single punch. Put that through there. And then we'll get a copper pin or rivet, whichever you want to call it. Put that, push that through, take this little cap piece, stick it on the top, and then where we put it, then we take this tool which has got a hole at one end and a bit of a divot there. I'll show you what they're for. The hole first goes over the top of this, and then you use a hammer to tap that down into place. Then take your clippers, just a pair of clips, cut this, but when you cut these you leave about 2 or 3 mil. Now you have to watch your eyes when you do these because it shoots off like a bullet. There we go, and we're left with that. And then take the divot, put that over the top, making sure that I'm not going to catch the buckle with it. Put that over the top, and then you just hammer it down and you end up with a little raised nub, which looks quite cool. Yeah, once you've put that on, to get the buckle off you'd have to cut that to get the buckle off. You're not going to get that rivet apart again. They're very, very strong. Okay, we'll take some more of this wax thread and we're going to stitch these onto that part there. So like I said, the 4 times rule, so I always go a bit bigger than what I need, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's that one. And then I always stick a little bit extra on. Better to have too much than not enough, I've found anyway. Ta-da! There you go, stitched on. So when that goes around and that goes over, I can get some straps to come over the top and go through there. Yep. Okay. Now I'm going to put the short strap on the front, and it's got a bigger hole. I don't know if you can see, but there's a slit there, and what that's for is it helps the hole to open up more when we put the what's called a Sam Browne. It's just like a little bobble and that presses onto it. You'll see. So we're going to put that on there. So let's stitch that one.